I guess who just popped in, that guy who was married to Miss Howard Stern 1995. They evidently split up.
Corky.
And Corky wants to come on the air and make a plea for her back.
Let's hear it. I like that.
You want that first?
Yeah. He's a man in need.
All right, Corky to me is a real ugly guy.
Yeah.
And I could understand why he wants her back. Hey, Corky, how you doing? Come on in, bro. Oh, man, you really are bummed.
Oh, my God.
I heard you've been calling like, look at you. You look a mess.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you guys were so much in love.
Yeah, we were.
What happened?
Exactly.
He's a nice guy. I like this guy.
Well, he was a little bit obsessed.
No, I wasn't obsessed. You know what it was? It
He's
was
a lot
after she became famous and everything, you know, I found it hard to deal with. You know, being jealous of her and her going on the go-sees every day and the career thing.
You couldn't handle her success?
No, I was able to handle it. I was fine with it. I mean, I was the one who told her to go on the Howard Stern show. She said I was controlling, but how controlling was I? I allowed her to go on the show. And
I allowed her?
Yeah, see?
Well, you know,
you could have put up a
you wouldn't allow your wife to go on the Lisa Gibbons talk show.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
I was more, I loved her. And
Boy, she should be a lawyer.
No,
I felt
because
that
your
her
wife
life
really didn't want to go.
Right. No, she might have wanted to go, but I was
She didn't
controlling.
want to go that much. His wife wants to have a career.
I said to my wife, look, here's why you... See, now I'm going to get a divorce because of you. I said to my wife with the Lisa Gibbons show, I said to my wife, you ain't going on there because the reason they want you on there is because of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not interested in taking my wife. I'm putting her on some dumb show that's going to be canceled.
You're Bruce and what's her name, Jenner.
Right.
Doing infomercials.
Yeah, right. I'm not interested in my wife being in show business.
You're William and Marcy Shatner.
So I'm controlling. Yeah, okay, I'll say that. But when it comes to my career, I don't need that.
Right, but I wasn't controlling, you know. I was...
Well, I just think about the
day I met her, she wanted to go on Star Search and all of these things. And when I heard about the pageant...
Yeah.
I felt that there was no way she could lose it.
Well, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, the Miss Howard Stern pageant happened in 1994. And it was New Year's 1994. And we decided we needed a show representative, someone who exemplified beauty, grace, and all of the powers that a Miss Howard Stern should have. And we had a contest.
Attributes, Howard.
Yeah. I couldn't think of the word.
Powers.
Okay, so I'm not that articulate. I just watched the American Music Awards, all right? I was listening to 10 hours of Snoop Doggy Dogg. It's not easy to master the English language if you listen to that. So we went on a search, and we had, 50 beautiful women up there on stage. In fact, there is a tape of it. I think the 1-800-52-STERN line is closed down now, but you never know. There was a couple of tapes still laying around. But for those of you out of town who couldn't get one. So you can see Corky's wife. Now, the reason we call him Corky is because he happens to look like the retard on the Corky show.
Yeah, well, Corky's gone now. I don't even know if anybody remembers who Corky is because that show went off the air.
From One Life at a Time, the retard.
Life goes on.
You're much better looking than him. Yeah, well, life goes on. One life at a time.
One life at a time.
You looked a little like him. But now I look you over. You don't look that bad.
Anyway, it was...
you got a good physique.
4 days before she...
You don't have the physique of a retard.
No.
I don't want to put the guy down because he's at a low point.
You know what, Howard? The guy's really hurting. I mean,
he is.
He's really upset. He's carrying around, everything from love notes she wrote to him to phone records.
No, you know what it was? It was 4 days before she took off. All she was obsessed with was the house. She was so happy about the house.
What do you mean the house?
What house?
You guys bought a house?
Yeah, the house that I was buying for her. We put over $20,000 down in contract.
Right.
And all she talked about was the house and...
What, has he got notes?
Yeah, you got some kind of notebook there?
Yeah, these are things that she just recently wrote before she walked out on me. I didn't know if it was because of her career.
Right.
Or that she felt that I was holding her back, because when she went to do Tales of the Crypt, she left to shoot the movie at 1 in the afternoon and didn't get home till 4:30 in the morning, and I was upset about it.
Right.
And then Playboy wanted her to do some softcore pornography. And in the airport, I says, "Are you kidding me? You know, you're the mother of a child. It's nothing but pornography."
Right.
And then recently they wanted her to do this Girls of Radio thing.
Right.
They wanted her to sleep with other men, and they were giving her a big $800.
Right.
Sleep with other men?
Yeah, or women. They gave her a choice.
Right. Pose with other men and women.
I mean, that's how she felt I was controlling and manipulating her
Well, maybe
life.
she wasn't in love with you anymore.
How could she not be in love with me anymore when every day of her life she told me I love you more, and I would say no, I love you more. It was like all she talked about was
listen, that's all talk.
A lot of times you just have to say that stuff.
Yeah. Listen, so what happened? She walked out on you how long ago?
She walked out on me the day, New Year's Eve day.
Wow. A year exactly from the New Year's show.
Yeah, after becoming Miss Howard Stern.
Well, listen.
She didn't call me. She didn't speak to me. She called me the following Thursday from family court in Nassau County because she was going for an order of protection. And I says, an order of protection against what? I says, over the 5 years we're married, I've never hit you.
Right.
I've never raised a finger to you. All I've done is buy you the best of everything and worked. You know, I've been working really hard since August. I've been cleaning out big factories, like, by myself. I literally cleaned out Castro Convertible by myself, the entire plant.
Right.
Just, to get her to have the house that she wanted and everything she wanted.
Right.
And she was, like, bringing up things to me that I said about her parents because Elaine was Puerto Rican, and when we went to put her on the pageant, I told her that, that it would be better if she said she was Italian. This way you wouldn't...
Certainly wouldn't matter.
It certainly wouldn't
I felt that you would have...
no, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, right.
No, what do I care? I love Puerto Rican.
Right,
don't second guess us, Corky.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not
problem with her ancestors.
Hey, listen, I'm
just because you want to... Yeah, well, don't think you know so well. All right, so here, let me get this straight. You want your wife back, right?
Yeah.
But she has said to you, look, I don't love you anymore.
Right. And anyway, I just got the phone bill, and it turns out, after all, she was calling some ex-boyfriend.
Well, you don't know that for a fact.
No, I do know it for a fact.
See, he's got the phone record.
Oh, I see.
She's living at this guy's house.
Well, you don't know where she's living.
No, I know exactly where.
Oh, you do?
Why are you telling him he doesn't know?
I just figure he doesn't. No, listen, this is no way to get your wife back, though. You just sounded like OJ. Now, listen to me. It doesn't matter where she's living. You can't get hung up on this. If she wants you, she's going to come back to you. Understand?
If it's meant to be.
Yeah, but I just feel that she has nobody to talk to her that's giving her her right advice.
The good advice.
The good advice that
You're
she needs.
her
for the baby's sake.
Well, she calls in. Maybe I'll give her some good advice.
She modeled herself Miss Howard Stern after you because she was a loving wife. And she cared about the baby and her family, and that came first.
Right.
And the way she cut out and just told me that she didn't love me and she never loved me for the last couple of years. I think she's just confused. She was reading this book by something Robbins.
Robin Quivers?
No.
Tony Robbins?
Tony Robbins' book.
Awaken the Sleeping Giant?
She told my mom.
Did she awake the sleeping giant? That book they ought to burn. Did she awake the sleeping giant?
She told my mother 4 days after she read the book, it gave her the strength to pick up and leave me.
Well, maybe she wasn't in love with you anymore, though.
I find it hard to believe when this
looking at you in the mirror,
every day she told me.
She was in love. Listen to me. I'm going to talk some sense to you. Now listen to me. I don't want you flipping out over this. It's an upsetting thing when your wife leaves you.
And you had a very beautiful girl there.
For the baby's sake.
And she is gorgeous.
I'm even continuing to buy the house just so my daughter can have a place she can call home.
Right.
And she took all my money. She left with the money.
Oh, your money's gone?
Well, I have enough to just buy the house. You know, but as far as operating the business and everything else, no, after I buy the house.
Well, maybe she wasn't happy in the marriage anymore or whatever.
She was. I reviewed tapes that I made of...
Really? But maybe she loved you. Maybe she loved you all along, but then one day woke up and said, I don't want to spend the rest of my life like
Howard, this is the hardest thing for men to understand. When a woman is saying these things, they just automatically tend to believe them. But a lot of times, a woman winds up in a situation where it's not exactly what she thought it used to be anymore, but she's locked in.
Right.
And she's supposed to say, no, I love you more every time you say, no, I love you more. So she says it.
Yeah. And maybe, maybe she's looking for a more glamorous life, you know what I mean?
She initiated it,
right. She might have been looking for a more glamorous life. Listen, and she might end up regretting it the rest of her life that she left you because, quite frankly, a lot of women think they're going to be in show business.
Greener pasture.
I see it all the time. I meet women every day who think they're going to be in show business.
A year went by, and the only opportunities she ever got offered were just parts that they wanted to see her naked in,
Right.
Even the stupid Tales from the Crypt thing that she went to shoot. Elaine's a beautiful girl. The movie #1 was totally ridiculous.
Right.
And she didn't even look good in it.
Right.
For the half a second you seen her in the movie.
So you're saying she's chasing a pipe dream?
I'm saying she's chasing a pipe dream. I think she fell in love with this guy who she's been talking to. She said she discussed her problems with him. I said,
well, it could have been a good friend that she decided to discuss her problems.
But why didn't she talk her problems over with me? She knows I'd move heaven and earth to make her happy, which I've done since the day I met her. I never let her settle for anything that wasn't the best.
Well, here's a guy who loves his wife.
I never let her cook.
Right.
You
never let your wife cook?
Never
it's a
let
big
her
mistake.
Cook.
Should have made her cook.
No, I didn't feel that.
I don't let my wife cook. It was a big mistake. Now I can't even get a sandwich. The other day, I'm sitting home in my house. I said,
totally spoiled.
I said to myself, I got to go upstairs and make myself a sandwich. You think once in a while my wife would offer me a sandwich?
Offer you? My wife.
You know what my wife did? Last night she went out and bought some Chinese food and told me it was ready. That was the closest it's come to any kind of food preparation.
Comes 8 o'clock, Elaine used to jump in bed and like I would be her butler. She'd get me soda, get me this. She would never get out of the bed after 8 o'clock.
You would get her soda?
I would wait. I waited on her hand and foot.
Yeah, you might have been too attentive. Too attentive.
All I know is that she's gone.
She's gone.
When
now,
a person
here's what I
wants
say.
to go, you have to let him go.
Let him go.
I want to let her go, but I felt that she told me that, you know what it was? I didn't
Get yourself a new girl. That's what I say.
I didn't give her the car to leave me. And I was frantic. I was hysterical crying and begging her, Elaine, please.
Come back.
How could I give her the car and the keys to walk out of my life? And she felt that I got crazy.
This is amour. This is amour.
No, this is a mess.
This is a mess of amour. Let me say something. You're a man in love, and I don't blame you. You take a look at that tape at 1-800-52-STERN if there's any left.
I mean,
you take a look at this guy's wife. You take a look at this guy's wife. You'll be crying, too.
Do you want to try calling her?
That is one hot minky. Oof. Let me tell you, this Miss Howard Stern is some hot...
And I don't know what their sex life was like for real, but the story she used to tell.
She had an unbelievable sex life.
You animal.
Unbelievable.
Really?
Unbelievable.
You satisfied her?
More than satisfied.
Really? Oh, good for you. Lucky bastard.
Well, if he did,
hey, at least you had her for a while.
Yeah, just,
because sometimes women get tired. Let me tell you something. How long were you married?
Too much sex.
She was very young, too.
She said there's too much sex?
She said it was too much.
Too much?
I bothered her for too much sex.
Well, the way she looks, I would have bothered her a lot more.
You would have been a nuisance, too.
Let me ask you a question. Would you have sex once or twice a day? 2, 3 times a day?
For the first couple of years, about 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, and then you taper off, right?
And we tapered off to a minimum once, twice a day.
Wow.
And then after she won the pageant and she got her breast implant.
I'll bleep that out. Yeah. That's between you and your wife. Now you see, now you're being vindictive.
Oh, well, I feel vindictive, yeah.
You shouldn't be vindictive. It's no way to win a woman back. The only way to win a woman back is to act like...
Go on with your life.
Go on with your life, and then they go, oh, I wish I was back with him.
Maybe he has something going on. I better check him out.
Trust me on this, my friend. If you sit and pine away from her, she's never going to look at you again. You got to get on with your life. Start dating. You got anybody you can date?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Tell her you're dating. Lie.
Lie to her.
Make
Robin, say
up.
you're dating. I'm telling you, you got to get on with your life.
Yeah,
you can't be
the baby though.
You haven't seen your child. She's keeping you away from your child.
She wouldn't let me see the baby on Sunday.
Well, that's not right.
She was supposed to bring the baby tonight. I don't think.
Gary, get me Elaine on the phone. I want to find out what's going on.
The one thing you can't do is make your child a part of your divorce.
Right.
You're still the baby's father.
My baby adores me.
What is it?
I can't really get a hold of Elaine because. She's on beeper, and I beeped her twice, and she hasn't called.
Tell her to call in. I want to settle this. I think what you guys ought to do is divorce. Now, I'm going to tell you why. There's no way to win a woman back. No way.
Let her go.
You ever see the movie where this guy, Robert Redford, offers the wife $1 million to have sex?
No.
You didn't see that in Decent Proposal?
I wouldn't see that movie.
You won't see that? No. You should go see that. You know how he wins his wife back? From Robert Redford? That actually doesn't apply.
Well, when he finally went on with his life,
she wanted him back.
Look for him again.
Yeah, but I feel bad for the baby. She calls me crying. I miss my daddy. She cries.
That's bad. And always with kids, it's bad.
It's bad.
You got to visit the kid.
But she don't let me near the house.
But you can't use the kid to get back at her.
Order of protection.
Listen to me. You
can't keep me away from the house.
You can't use the kid.
I mean, her boyfriend called me up and threatened my life. Yeah.
Are you going over and hanging out where they are? Stop doing that. You can't do something like that.
Yeah, but listen to me. You can't use your kid to get Miss Howard Stern back.
Don't say Miss Howard Stern.
Why not?
Because she's not Miss Howard Stern anymore.
Well, she is,
we haven't crowned anybody else.
She is still reigning.
Yeah, well, reigning what?
Reigning Miss Howard Stern.
Her dignity and her respect for what she did as a person,
Nah, come on. Just because you get a divorce doesn't mean that the person lost her dignity.
It wasn't a pageant for Mrs. Corky.
Yeah, right. Come on. She didn't lose her dignity and respect. She didn't. She did not. She always handled herself nicely.
She has honored the title.
She's a nice lady. She is.
Well, if she wasn't, why would you want her back?
Right.
Make up your mind.
Well,
Either she's a nice lady or she's not.
She is a nice
what
lady.
She's doing
I know
now,
her. She's a nice lady.
What she's doing now
But
is...
she fell out of love. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? What is it?
See, she digs you because she listens to what you say. She just called in.
All right, good. Elaine?
Hi.
You are the reigning Miss Howard Stern.
Yes, I am.
So what happened? You two were in love.
Howard.
It fell
will
apart.
not leave me alone. First of all, the only reason why I called was to say that he's totally lying about the baby. First of all, when I left him, I said to him, I did not take all his money.
Right.
I left him the business. I could close down the corporation today if I want him to make no money at all.
You didn't take all the money, Elaine. You took over $20,000 in your bank.
Excuse me? I think I made over $100,000 this year. Am I entitled to $20,000 to take care of your daughter?
How did you make over $100,000?
I gave her 50.
That's right.
You gave her 50.
Plus all of my
went to
appearances.
taxes,
right? Right.
15 went
it didn't go to taxes yet, Howard. I had over $10,000. I had over $10,000 in my purse, and he took it from me.
$63,000 in your account before you ever
the day that I was
won this
leaving. He left me with not even a dime in my freaking
pocket.
pocket.
How much money have I given you since you left?
Wait a second. Here's the point. Here's the point.
Let me just say one thing.
First of all, when it comes to your daughter,
That's why I called.
When it comes to your daughter, you see. My problem is. Hold on. If you go to, listen to me, will you? If you go to the daughter, and you go to visit her, and then you start driving her nuts.
She doesn't allow me to visit her.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if she does, she'll allow you to visit as long as you don't hound her for coming back.
And maybe they can have a third-party situation.
When I left him, he won't let me talk because he doesn't want the truth to come out. When I left him, I went to family court so that I can be able to allow him to see his daughter without the threat of him taking his daughter away from me.
Right. She's probably afraid you'll run off with the kid.
He saw the baby. I left him December 30th. He saw her the following weekend. He needed her Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I gave him her Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then he called up the second weekend. What am I doing, babysitting for you? Well, look, you're not babysitting for me. As far as I'm concerned, you're a bad influence on my daughter.
Well, wait a second.
That was her
You two were in love with each other a couple of weeks ago.
He's a bad influence. When I was leaving, Howard.
What did you say right?
Howard, when I was leaving.
Hold on.
Let me say something. When I was leaving, he grabbed my daughter and said, Mommy is going to kill me if she leaves. She's ripping my heart out. And grabbed my daughter crying like that and telling her that Mommy is going to kill me. And he told my daughter, when she came home, she said, my dog is Jewish, I'm Jewish, and my daddy's Jewish, and I'm not supposed to love anyone in this house. And for her birthday party, she came home and said, in front of everyone at her birthday party, she said, well, I'm supposed to kick and scream so that my daddy can come.
You wouldn't
this
allow
is
me
not
to go
made
to
up
my own daughter's birthday party.
That's right. I would be very uncomfortable.
Stephen, never mind the corky name. You should throw your own birthday party for the kid.
Yeah. That's right.
You don't have to go to her birthday party.
She wrote about me. I mean, just
she loved you then.
She left that was a week before she left.
She was confused.
That was not a week before I left you.
So So Elaine, did you write him a love letter a week before?
Steve, Howard, I wrote all the time stuff. You know, when you're a writer, I took writing in college.
Right.
When you're a writer, they tell you to write in your journal. So I wrote in my journal almost all the time. I used to just write stuff, just to get stuff off of my chest, because he's not the kind of person that you can actually talk to.
Well, listen, whatever. Look, she's not in love with him anymore.
No, not at all. I've been trying to tell him that for over a month.
You got to get on with your life, and you guys got to worry about your kid. You got to can't badmouth each other to the kid.
You were having an affair with this guy.
I am not.
Are you having an affair?
Absolutely not.
Elaine, the phone bill proves it.
If I never saw another penis in my life, it would be too soon.
Oh, really? You're not going lesbo on me, are you?
Elaine, you were calling this guy on the 16th.
Quiet. I got to find out what's that all about, Elaine.
I think she's had it with guys.
No, I'm just totally upset, and I don't want to be with another man. Don't you see how obsessed he is?
Obsessed? I'm not obsessed.
Listen. He's in love with you. He's in love with his wife.
I'm living.
Elaine, you didn't give me. You never talked to me about the problems. You were calling a strange ex-boyfriend.
He called the police up and said that I was in a cult.
Yeah, because that's what I thought.
And told on this family that I'm in a cult.
Are you in a cult?
I don't know if she's in a cult.
He's sick. He is sick.
Well,
this is a family where a woman is pregnant. A woman is 6 months pregnant.
He is
husband and 2 children.
He is upset. He is upset because
he's obsessed.
He's in love with you.
I'm not upset.
But I am here to say the following. I will now rule on this.
Elaine, you were calling this guy on the 16th telling him our problems. Why weren't you talking to me
I left you on the 30th. I guess, that's about right. 14 days to have an affair and fall in love and run away.
Why were you talking to him about your problems? If you had problems, you should have spoke to me.
Look what happened.
I've done everything.
I talked to Dominic Barbara.
Yeah, and for half an hour. Then you called your boyfriend after.
Not only for half an hour. I went to go see Dominic myself.
Why?
Oh, yeah, Dominic cares about our family and my daughter.
No, I needed legal advice.
Right.
First of all, I'm giving you everything. If you're saying that I'm taking everything, then I will take everything.
Elaine, you're not taking everything, right?
So, right.
You took the money.
Okay,
you have to buy the house, all right?
That's right. He's got the house now. He's got the truck. He's got the business.
The truck, the business. Elaine, when I met you, you lived in the projects. You had nothing. I gave you everything.
Excuse me?
All right?
You gave
Everything
me everything? Stephen, you were making $500 a week working for a psychopath father of yours.
So that wasn't my fault. I tried to support you and the baby. I bought you an engagement ring for $8,000.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, I bought you the best of everything.
All right, here's what I said. You are a man who loves his wife. Unfortunately, your wife, for one reason or another, I hear she doesn't love you. Now listen to me. You know what you got to do? Let me tell you something.
Marriage counselor or somebody that knew how to handle it.
I said to him, Howard,
I don't care.
Had you let me leave, I would have went to counseling with him, and we could have had a nice, friendly relationship. It wasn't easy for me to let you leave. Every day of my life, you told me you loved me. He ripped the money out of my purse, my car keys, and threatened to rip my breast off.
Are you really? I never threatened to rip your breast.
Oh yeah, well you signed the petition to the court agreeing that you did.
Because they never showed it to me. They wanted me to see. I wanted to see the baby. They says if you agreed to the protection, you could see the baby.
That's not
I never
true at
read
all.
that whole thing.
You just signed it.
I just signed it. At that point, I was hysterical.
Right, he just signed it. He had me on the phone for an hour, conning me into thinking that he was at work doing nothing.
Let me say something.
And he showed up there.
I will settle this.
You can settle this.
Yes, I can.
Yes, Howard
You got to listen to me, Steve and Elaine. Steve, forget about it. First of all, I think all this has gone to her head.
That's not true.
Listen to me a little bit. Listen, I got to make this even. Here's what I'm saying. She's going to go out now and experience the world on her own.
You got to realize she got married very young.
Very young.
She's just grown up.
Listen.
Just turned 18.
And the show business bug is in her.
That's not true. That's not true.
All right, well, let me say it's
true. I left him
for
him, Howard.
All right.
If my brother bought me a pair of earrings, I couldn't wear them because my brother bought them for me.
That's not true.
That's not true. I couldn't wear green, red, or black because I look like a spick or a nigger. That's not true. That's not true, Stephen. Every other word from your mouth was not nigger and spick.
And to
my daughter, that my daughter can say nigger and spick every minute of the day. I should allow that.
Wait a second. Wait now. What kind of thing is that? Nigger and spick.
Oh boy.
Can't we all just get along?
That's exactly the way that he is.
Listen to me. Listen, everybody has their faults. Listen, let me say something. This is a man you were in love with at one time for whatever reason. You are obviously still in love with her. Problem is, Elaine is no longer in love with Steve. Miss Howard Stern, 1994, is not in love with Steve.
Yeah, she's in love with an ex-boyfriend.
It doesn't matter who
she's in love with.
Oh my God.
Doesn't matter who she's in love with. If she's in love with a skunk, doesn't make a difference. She's entitled. See, this is where OJ went nuts. He wanted you got it made. You're going to get on with your life now?
You're going to date again.
You're going to be dating.
This is what Howard has been dreaming of.
I'll trade places with you.
Look at my poor daughter. She has to grow up.
She's much happier. She is much happier.
She's much happier.
No, listen, you're going to have time with her. She's going to have time with her. It's going to have to be.
But not if you're at war with each other.
I have given him as much time as he wants.
You got to be able to make Elaine feel comfortable enough now that you can be around her, not hassle her, so you can pick up your daughter. Say nice things about Elaine to the daughter. She'll say nice things about you to the daughter. And the daughter will grow up feeling good about both her parents. You're going to find another. Go searching the project. Find another 18-year-old. You have a hot new one. So you put a little time in searching. That's the fun of it. Go to a bar. Go out to a bar tonight. Get yourself laid.
Oh, that's what I told him. You should have called the other day. He could have gone to Scores and had a good time.
I should have taken you to Scores.
Go out, have a good time.
You would have got some time there.
I only want him to be happy without me.
He'll be happy. I'll send him over to Scores.
And if he really loves his daughter, he will want the best thing for his daughter and not to have her upset.
Right.
Forget
he won't
about
even
it.
give his
I just
daughter
want to
her
know
trophy.
when you stopped loving me. After you put my $20,000 and change on the house a month ago. I mean, when did this all
At what
come
point
about?
did
When you started telling me that my family could never come visit and I could never step foot in the church because you would kill me, and if my family ever came, they would burn the house down.
Elaine, that same night I offered your brother and your whole
Same
family
night,
to come
Stephen,
to
you've
the
been
house.
saying that forever.
Elaine, I told you you could have your mother come live in the basement apartment of the house.
Now.
What do you mean now? It's because you never confronted me about it. Because
Right.
I always.
Stephen, I told you over and over again.
All right,
please
so it's
never ever
over.
talk about my family.
Why go through it 100
Yeah, I
times?
mean,
That's
the
what I'm
bottom
telling you.
line here is if you don't love him, there's no need to have all these conversations.
Let me tell you something,
Exactly.
Stephen. Once you get your life back on track with a new broad,
She'll want you.
why don't you? Believe me, she's going to say it's a cold world out there.
It's a very cold. world,
Exactly.
And no one's going to love him in it.
And if she doesn't want to come back
Unless
to
he
you,
really has changed and became a different person.
you're going to be back. You're going to be.
Elaine, you tell her what. Read what she just wrote about me, please.
Let me see this. What is this? Now, Elaine, did you write what I'm reading here?
I don't know. Let me hear it.
My dearest Stephen,
Mm-hmm.
there is no greater love than that which warms my heart for you. It was easy to love you, even at first. I knew then that my love would be a never-ending loving stream.
Is this you?
Is that
There's
you?
too much loving in there for me to
But I never
remember.
imagined that perfect waterway would turn into a beautiful ocean, filled sometimes with... I ought to get rid of you just for writing like this. With wearing waves that burst inside of me when I dream of our exciting future together, our happiness.
How long ago did I write this?
And deep down inside, it is a warm, tranquil haven
A month ago.
that I dream of every
No
night,
way.
which I lay by you.
You don't remember writing this?
If you wrote that, would you want to remember it?
No, I'd blank it out.
There's a lot of love there. I don't.
Well, it's okay to be in love at one
Yeah,
point.
that sounds like a 15-year-old girl could write that.
Yeah.
I don't remember writing it. Maybe I did. Maybe like.
There's nothing wrong with writing that. There's nothing wrong with writing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, look.
Well, I know that there's nothing wrong.
Here's
with
my.
it. I was married to him for 5 years.
I'm going to wrap this up because I got a guy who just had scrotum surgery. I want to say this, Stephen. You're a nice guy. I've been around you. You're a very nice guy. Elaine.
He throws that around a lot.
Well, listen. You guys
I know
upset
he
right now.
does.
Well, I'm going to tell an angry guy who's ready to burst that he's not a nice guy. Am I going to say that? No. Am I stupid? I want my ass kicked? Thank you, Stephen. Guy's a powerful man. Stephen, I know you're upset. And all I'm telling you is, forget it. Yesterday's news.
Just like you built a life with her, you can build a life with someone else.
There are so many fish out there. You have no idea. Go to Scores. There's 40 fish right now.
Go find,
right.
There's women out there dying for me.
And let me tell you
need to be
something.
fixed up,
You go to these bars, you know that there are more women than there are men?
especially in this area.
You know the dating you're going to have going in and out of that house? I know a black garbage man. He comes on this show, King All Blacks. He's dating
fighting
3
them
or
all.
4. He's fighting off white women. You get in the sack with a couple. You'll forget this one. Now, I know that sounds like bad advice right now.
You can't feel this way.
I'm telling you.
In 2 months, you're going to thank us.
It's already been a month.
Women
Yeah,
are fighting
but
over
he's been-
Scott the engineer. Look at him. That guy's a mess. His wife won't even let him go to a Super Bowl party. He's afraid to ask.
Put him on dial-a-date, Howard.
Oh, please.
Don't put me on.
I'm not putting you on dial-a-date. There's nothing funny going on here. I'm not making a joke either.
Right.
It's a guy who lost his family. There's nothing funny about that.
It's his fault.
No, it's not his
Well,
fault.
don't beat up on him now. Don't kick a dog with
Don't-
his
yeah,
tail.
the guy's down.
Right.
People love
He
each
called,
other,
he
Elaine.
called the
People
police
give.
to say that where I'm living is a cult.
Yeah,
and had the
All
police
right,
come
so
along.
maybe it is.
So
It is
not.
The guy's upset. What's the matter with you?
You gotta understand that. He lost the prize.
Prize, you piece of ass. To get my
were his
hands on
whole
that
life.
myself. I'm married happily. Don't worry about me.
People who love each other do not walk out without trying to discuss their problems or work things
That's
out.
why you have to understand she doesn't love you because
Right.
she walked out.
I think she's just confused. She was under a lot of pressure.
You
So let her
think that
let her
all
work
you
it
Right,
out.
that's what I told him. If I'm still in love with him, then in a month or two, I'm not going to be able to live without him.
Right.
That's
Give her
exactly
a
the
chance.
truth.
Oh,
See,
boy.
now the
Cries
kid's upset.
every day.
The baby cries every day. And let me tell you something. You better let him see the kid, and don't you pull
I
out
am
shenanigans.
absolutely allowing
And
him
don't
to
pull
see
out
his daughter if he
shenanigans when you go see the
She
kid.
dumped the baby off to me Friday night. The kid was sick. She was puking. She was coughing.
She had a
Oh,
runny
Brittany.
nose, Howard,
Yeah,
and he says that he wants
only
full
reason
custody.
She took the kid out in 30-degree weather, left us standing in the street.
I left her upstairs in my mother's house.
Press photos.
I don't know. This is going to be a hard one to figure out. We'll be back.
You see what he's doing?
She thinks I'm stopping her career from going on.
That is so untrue.
He can't stop your career. Believe me, that career.
Major career.
Major career.
From the waist up. Yeah.
All right.
Right. Nice, Stephen. Very nice. I see how much you love me.
All right. Look, Stephen.
Elaine, I'm hurting from all of this, all right? I can't understand how
Stephen,
you can be so
I'm
cold.
doing nothing but being totally
understanding. The only reason I can understand how you can be so cold is because you got this ex-boyfriend here now that you're sleeping with.
I don't have anyone.
She's not sleeping with anyone.
She told me she was. She called me up and told me.
Are you sleeping
with anyone? You know what I told him, Howard?
What?
I told him stuff so that he could just leave me alone. I'm trying everything.
Oh, and that's why your boyfriend called me up and threatened my life.
Right. Believe me, no one called you up, buddy.
Right, okay.
You are such a damn liar. You make me sick.
All right, let me end this now.
By lying like this?
Lying, Elaine, I have no reason to lie to you. I've never lied to you in the 5 years I'm married to you, have I? Have I ever lied to you?
Right.
You guys are in this bad a shape after 5 years? Cut your losses now. I'm telling you.
You're lying on the air. You're lying on the air.
Stephen, I can see that you're not ready to give up on this yet, but I'm telling you, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I say it too. I started.
Hello, Brittany.
Yeah. You got to work it out with your wife just for the sake of the kid.
Yeah, she won't be friendly with me even. That she.
All right, are you willing to be nice to her when you see her and not and don't even carry on?
Nice
don't even bring up the marriage. Just say, hey, I'm coming over for the kid. Let's be nice in front of the kid.
She brings the kid Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's his decision.
I figured let her come to eat with us. I mean,
I don't want to go to eat with you.
Who would have predicted a year ago? Who would have predicted? No, you don't have to go to eat.
She doesn't have to go to eat with you, Stephen.
Right.
You're supposed to be
friendly to me in front of the baby.
Right.
She's handing her off.
And he asked to speak to her every single night.
What is it, Papa Phooey?
I've got to say something. I'm going to attribute this to Ralph because it's so true. And I don't mean to kick you when you're down. You should have never let her in that pageant, man.
What do you mean by that?
Everybody
really?
said that, but you want to know something?
How could you do that, though?
It's just because...
I felt her love for me would overcome that.
Let me tell you something. About the pageant.
She told me every day of her life she would die for me.
People
That's
say
how much
a lot of things.
People say a lot of things, but she went out of her way to say them.
Well, let me say something about the pageant. Let me say something. I don't want you...
Let me call my mother up in Florida, and she'll tell you just a month ago how Elaine was there, and all she talked about was me, and how she loved me, and how she...
All right.
What else am I going to talk about to your mother?
She's got to say that to your mother.
Well, she's told that about everybody. I mean,
look, it didn't work out for whatever reason, and as far as the pageant goes, I don't think that...
The pageant didn't break up that marriage.
Read the other things she wrote, Howard.
What is that?
About her career.
I'm an actress. My name is Elaine.
Yeah.
My dreams consist of a home, a business, a caring husband, and a model child. I want my family... What is this for? A resume?
It's just a stupid journal.
I think she writes to her.
Oh, so all right. So that's her private
thought. So that's my private thought.
Private thought.
Like that.
Why are you holding on to her journal?
I'm not going to read it. Yeah, stop with those journals.
Why does he have your journals?
Listen, I got to...
He has everything.
I have to go now. Steve... Listen, I hope it works out, but I don't see it. I just hope it works out for your kid.
It will work out, just not the way he wants necessarily.
And don't get hung up. There's other women out there.
Thank you.
I just feel,
you're desirable.
A chance.
Forget it. She don't want to give you a chance.
You can feel any way you want. That's not necessarily the way things are going to be.
She didn't want to give you a chance now.
She's got this rat boyfriend of hers.
She don't have a boyfriend, she said.
I don't have a boyfriend.
What's it? You can't blame the boyfriend. You can't blame the boyfriend.
This was your marriage. Your wife
between you and her.
To walk out, and it doesn't matter who else
happy.
is involved.
Better to get it over with now while you're still young.
An adulteress? I mean,
that's not adultery. That's I want to leave.
A woman sleeps with another man while
she wants to leave.
And why do you want her back?
Yeah, forget about it. Get a new one.
That's
all right. Elaine, thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank Stephen. I hope it works out between the two of you.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
That's a mess.
It's a big mess.
I'm sorry for you. I'm not happy to see this. I know you're in a lot of pain.
I called up this Bucky guy and told him to leave my wife alone with the appearances. I was crying hysterical almost to the guy, and the next day he calls.
What, to add an appearance?
To give her...
All right, listen, they're trying to... We think we're doing you a favor if someone calls for Miss Howard Stern 1994. Who knows what's going on in your marriage? Nobody knows.
No, he knew.
Well, he doesn't know. If someone calls, it wouldn't be right. We can't tell somebody not to call.
I mean, just, You
understand what I'm saying? If somebody calls for you guys.
Right.
For you and your wife. We're not going to sit and censor your calls.
But I told him what happened and the problems I was having, and then the following day the guy called back. Like,
all right, but that's his thing. I wouldn't know.
I don't know what you're doing out there.
I don't know. But listen, that can't break up a marriage. If a marriage is strong, it don't matter who's there.
Right, exactly.
There are Hollywood actors Paul Newman has a wife for a bunch of years. He probably gets proposition every day. He stays with her. It's up to the marriage.
She was such a good, loving person. For her to do this, I think she just totally freaked out.
Maybe she freaked out and said, I want something different.
Maybe you don't really know who she is. Has that ever occurred to you?
No, I know who she is.
Well, you think you do, but you didn't know she was going to leave.
Right. Drop it for now. Well, anyway. That's a sad story. Sorry to hear it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I never expected this.
It's a real downer. It's a downer.
Yeah. Anyway, you think I could auction off the crown and the bouquet?
Oh, you still have that?
Smart man. I would do that. You got the Miss Howard Stern? You got the crown and the bouquet?
I have the crown, the bouquet, and the scepter.
All right, we'll have you back. You can auction it off. But it is hers, actually.
Well, it's mine now.
Oh, you got that in the
took everything else from me.
Well, listen, that's a very valuable commodity.
You two will have to work out a settlement.
You know how many dildos are in that bouquet?
50.
That's a beautiful bouquet.
I might want to buy that off you.
Steve's a nice guy. I'm sorry to see him in so much pain, but we got to take a break.
It's sad to see a marriage break up.
Right. We'll take a break and then we'll be back.